new token. I already put the new picture in, but it's got my token like locked in and saved. So this is the current one. I just sent it to you on Discord.
Nice. Yeah, you've been ready for quite a while. Yeah. So yeah, new NPC in there for you.
Let's take a look. Ethereal's final rest. Sonyears. Avatar of the old ways and fused it with the future.
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting.
Her shop is a biotechnology and bioengineering lab and a tattoo shop.
Okay. Let's am I going to be going in with Brenna, or do I have an introduction letter?
No, you have to go in with Brenna. The door is ultra locked, and Brenna actually has a key card that opens. And the individual it's pitch dark, but the tattoos on this person are lighting the area, and the eyes kind of dart up. And you could tell this individual is working on some sort of microscope and processing some sort of chemicals in the back. So this is the boy. Have you decided a gender?
Yes.
Good.
Oh, well, I've decided one, but I have 2 more years before I can finalize it.
That's fine. So, show me what you have.
Clarity is going to take out his stack of notebooks because by this point he's filled so many.
Show me the basics.
He's actually going to take out his original one. He hasn't modified the basic rules. He's only refined the design and precision since the beginning. And
Brenna is virtually ignored and told to stand in the corner, and the door shuts. And she pulls a red lamp and kind of pulls it over. And you were literally put on the spot. And she goes through every single page in excruciating detail. And she quizzes you on everything. Why did you do this? Why do you think this? Why is this so rigid? Why can't you expand your thought on this? And then when that book's done, she has you pull out the next one to see the evolution of your designs, to see if it actually has some place to go or if you're just a plateau that'll never really grow into anything.
And you've seen my experimenting, so you know the directions that he's tried out. He even does have a few little flip books of what he imagines them looking in motion would look like. You flip through the pages and they spin.
So there's 3 huge questions for you, and this will decide whether you get this or not. 1, what's the difference between this and a stupid computer? Because this literally looks like you're just writing your own computer parts on people.
Intent. Every tattoo is slightly different for its purpose depending on the intent of the writer.
That's the whole point of a computer. Each part is different in that manner.
A part can be exactly the same in the computer, but the computer has no real way of differentiating the emotion behind something. The thought that goes into it. To a computer, a circuit will do the exact same thing that it's designed to do every single time. No matter where you place it, where you put it on, it is an interchangeable part that you place in and out. These are defined by the purpose that they're made for. They, even if they look exactly the same, they change depending on what I determine is necessary for that particular person and purpose.
Yeah, so she goes over literally grabs a computer from the corner out of the it just kind of looking like it's sitting there, and she rips it out of the wall, and she breaks it on the floor, and she starts pointing out parts. Well, those are the exact same, but they're slightly different. They do different things. The intent of the designer designed it like a computer, and each part has intent as well. His blood, sweat, and tears went into every last piece of that design, and it works like the way it should. You're building a machine. You're making people machines.
Clarity is going to walk over and, over these years, has T. Lao Shen taught us about computers?
No, the professor did. I'm pretty sure you went to the professor's classes.
Um, I would basically. I have a very busy schedule, so if the professor had rare classes, then I would attend them.
He does. In fact, Tyler Shen, because you have your memory and swiftness upgrades, which you probably bought early on.
Yeah.
You actually, he's unable to teach you some of the stuff he wants to teach you because he doesn't have the knowledge for it, like calculus, how to use technology. He doesn't do that. He's a elementary through middle school teacher. You are
Uh,
probably most of your classes would be with the professor. And he's a dinosaur, literally. Weird.
does she have a whiteboard nearby?
She does.
I'm gonna
It's
drag
not
over the
the
whiteboard.
traditional whiteboard. It's one of those cool little clear glass things, and you have the little markers. And she's
I'm
got
gonna.
designs all over it.
There's no place for drawing out things.
No, she just waits for to see what you do.
I am going to not bother her designs and take out one of my many notebooks. And on one of them, I am going to inscribe basic computer theory, the definition of a circuit, which I've gone into. I've had classes on this in real life, Matt, so I know that they are well defined and exact.
Yes.
And it's math. It is definitely mathematics. 1 plus 1. And at the very, very centerpiece of it, it's either 0 or 1. And really, that's the essence of it, zeros and ones. And zeros and ones can mean a lot of different things depending on what they need to be, the purpose. But a 0 or a 1 can never mean multiple things. In my tattoos, the very basic elements in a single tattoo can have multiple meanings.
How?
Intent, focus,
Where does that intent?
purpose.
Where does that intent seep in? You drawing the exact same thing on multiple targets will thus yield, unless it is a certain style of art, which yours is not, the exact same result. Intent has nothing to do with it. You need to have a place for that intent to be housed, and the 1 inch by 1 inch design does not allow that. There's not enough space for that intent. You have the instructions you have inside of it is pretty much taking up all of the ink. Where are you channeling that intent? You have a border frame that you wrap around the square. I mean, there's only so much you can do with the size that you're trying to force it to be. Unless you literally have a maker's mark, which is that's where you tie the intent to, and you run a line to the model that you do. And she shows you, she literally takes her hand on the board, wipes the whole thing in 3 hefty swipes, and she draws your designs on the board, and she draws what she would pretend as a maker's mark. It's basically your stamp, your I did this, your signature. But it's done in the design that you do for the rest of your squares. And it's your artistic elaboration that Prena does. It's that kind of a vessel for your intent. And then she ties it to the rest, and that's how you get the whole model. Basically, she's trying to give it a brain.
Clarity thinks about that because he's been trying to use his brain to focus this meaning on them. Because he has a clear, defined meaning for every shape he uses, and he focuses on that with the same will he uses for his mantras. But giving it a brain on the skin to house the meaning specifically is not a bad idea.
Because then you can personally tailor that design per person. Because unfortunately, your designs are so small and so perfect, they can't have intent in there. They're mechanical in nature. They have a purpose, and they only have enough room to fill that purpose. But if you give it another 1 inch by 1 inch square, and its whole purpose is to house your intent, and you link it to everything else, now you're cooking with fire. She
Clarity's
calls that
gonna
the maker's mark.
Clarity's gonna start sketching out a few ideas on the board with this new maker's mark in mind. How many squares would it be able to cover on a body? How many
As long as it's linked, as long as you have it there and linked to basically the central pieces, and you know, as long as it's
What
there.
would I be able to use a pair of maker's marks as wireless transceivers because I've
Yes,
determined
you
with my
could.
intent?
Yes, you could.
You just see Clarity throw like a couple of his notebooks full of wireless transceivers that he never found any good ones that he liked in the garbage. And he nods towards
She goes
Sonyeris.
over, pulls over a drawer, hands you 5 empty notebooks, brand new ones, and just dumps a bunch of pens. And she looks over at Prena and just says, "Go." He has it in his eyes. You may not disturb him. And Prena is like, "Okay," and just kind of inches out, and the door slams, and she ignores you. You're given the board, you're given the room, and she goes and works on what she was working on.
Maker's Mark is the defining factor I needed. It's a compromise, which is not exactly what I wanted, but it's a compromise that I needed. So pretty much every tattoo is going to be at minimum 2 squares wide from this point on. There's always going to be a maker's mark attached.
And that maker's mark can literally redefine the exact same tattoo however you want on every single person.
Done.
And that's the one you need to draw last. Everything's done, you draw that last, and that one takes the absolute most time because you have to lead your intent and design and your will and how it should work. How, in every last millimeter of skin you ink.
So Matt, I actually can't give you a maker's mark drawing out on this because every
Don't worry
maker's
about it.
mark is going to have slight differentiation.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's the one changing variable in everything.
There were 2 more questions?
You had the look in your eye, which is like epiphany, and she didn't. You're still gonna have those too, but you're gonna be given however long you need to get this on paper, to get this out of you, because that's what artists do when they have that, like, oh, I got the thing, oh my god, I got to get this down.
A
She's letting you.
big part of this book, or these books that he's going to be filling out, are taking old designs from his other notebooks and redesigning them to include the maker's mark. That's pretty much most of what it's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And after you're just kind of sitting there and you've kind of exhausted yourself of it, and you're just kind of staring at it like, everything makes sense now. She kind of stops what she's doing, kind of saunters over. Good. You have the desire. You have the ambition. That gets rid of one question. A lot of people burn out on this. A lot of people don't have that inner genius. That's what it needs. I saw that in your eyes. It's good. because many people are retarded and they have no creativity. They have no ability to elaborate on their current designs. They're set in their place. I was worried about you. Very, very worried about you. Because your designs and the way you describe them are, you're going to hit a wall. A wall that literally cannot be overcome, cannot be breached, you can't go around it. It is your hard stop. And it is entirely of your own design and making. This is good. This gives me a little hope. The main question left is why the hell should I have you as my apprentice?
I'm making something new. Not I've made, or I will make. I am always going to be in the process of making something new. And that's this.
And you will need to make me a promise. If I say your art is going to hit a wall, you need to listen to me. You are not the first apprentice I have had with promise. And if I see you going on the path to be hitting a plateau where your art literally goes nowhere, then I'm going to reach out to you once, and if you refuse me, I will attempt to do once more, and if you refuse me again, you are no longer my apprentice. Because either A, you are a master in your own right, and you no longer can accept or even contemplate the criticism of others as an artist has to bear, or you're just not a good apprentice, and you're one of the stupid masses.
I agree to these terms.
Good. You're going to have to feed the beasts every day. It's a little tedious. They're hungry. Did I tell you I breed and genetically modified beasts?
I will do whatever chores come under my job description.
Good. And she reaches over and pulls out a piece of paper. And she just starts scribbling on it and has it's a very fancy fucking piece of paper, but she just mars it with her horrible, horrible shorthand. Sign here at the bottom. I'll hand this into the association to announce that you are my apprentice. And it basically says, with the beautiful flourish of, the Grand Master title, and it looks like a pre-stock paper, but only given to the very few. And Sonieris just mars it by, Sonieris takes Clarity as a disciple signature. That's it.
Clarity will sign.
Yeah. Yeah, and she just kind of brings it over to the machine, and you see it gets scanned. And she's like, there it goes. They'll receive a copy. I always keep the real one. They're idiots. Anyways. All right. I am Sonieris. I am a Grandmaster for a really, really good reason. What do you think is my unique style that has granted me my Grandmastership, and why no one in their right minds would ever contest me for it?
Clarity thinks about that for a minute. He's heard that Sonieris, for years and years, has had an extremely mathematical style, and just from talking with her for a few minutes and looking around her shop, he knows that's the case.
She's very tribal, though, in the way her tattoos are.
Yes.
And none of her tattoos are even remotely mathematical.
Well, she can't tattoo herself.
I know.
He's going to... His best guess is that she can bioengineer actual living tattoos?
Yes and no. Her tattoos flash, and um, the body that was standing in front of you falls to the ground, and there's a massive creature there, pulsing. Just tattoos riddled the entire the entire body. And it's obviously bioengineered because there is everything about that's seamlessly built as something to kill. And it gets down, and a psychic voice enters your mind. I am a beast, and I wear the skin of the human.
I've been raised by a beast since I was a child. At this point, it's not something that bothers me.
Hmm. Yes, I build my own vessels as it stands up. And it walks over and touches the body, and the body, or the giant beast, transforms into the tattoos on the person. And the person gets up, and it's like cracks the bones and the joints. I am immortal. You can kill this body as much as you want. It doesn't die like normal bodies do. Then I can puppet it like a puppeteer does, even with its head missing. And if I reveal myself, things die. And I can do that to creatures. And I have found the way to tattoo myself using this method. I'm not myself, but I am. I inhabit that, but I can use that puppeteer or that puppet to tattoo using my own exact skill.
Clarity's actually going to think about that for a while and then say that he originally got onto this path because he wanted his tattoos for himself. So being
You
able to
will
use
learn
hers.
how to do exactly that. She will grow you a copy of you that you can possess. You'll have to donate a portion of your skin for the right to do that puppeteering, but then it allows your literal clone to use your exact ability to tattoo yourself.
Might even be able to make his hands more precise than mine. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So give me a rundown of the next 3 years with her, Matt. Also, do I get journeyman status at about this point? Oh no, he's gone. He died. Matt died. No.
Yeah, you did.
I got journeyman status. Cool, cool.
You died. You still have a no. If you have you by the time clock you would have already finished level 1 through 3, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you'll. The moment you bring it up, she squints at you, grabs another piece of paper, says, "Clarity is journeyman tattooist," in her horrible, horrible writing, and just passes it to you. Sign it,
I do.
and you're like, she sends it to a fax. She faxes it in and says, "All right, you're a journeyman. Get to work."
Oh, that's pretty good, Matt. Ah, perfect.
You'll be tattooing my beasts tomorrow. Memorize these, and she shoves a giant 3-inch packet full of stuff, all loose leaf. None of it's even remotely like in order. And
Good thing I
she
trained
then,
my.
as you were like, "Oh God, what's all this?" And she takes a piece of paper and writes some instructions on it. This is what I want. It's in cell B8. You'll have to wrangle it. And no, you may not have it unconscious as you tattoo it. You'll have to tattoo it while it's subdued.
It's
Here are the
good
specifications.
thing I learned martial art.
Oh, These are my personal engineered war beasts. So be careful. They'll eat a man in about as many seconds as it takes to kill it, which is rather fast. So don't die.
You know what, Matt?
The specifications and schematics of the beast are in that packet as well. So find the they're not the brightest things, but they are efficient.
I want to say this would be incredibly difficult, and it would be, but I think my character's actually statted well to actually follow through on these requirements.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, beast. Guess what? I'm gonna grab a taser, and I'll put my gloves on, and then I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah, that.
I was thinking Fear Effect, but yeah, that too.
Fear Effect, that. I mean, if it's dumb, then Fear Effect and a few shocks and some paralysis, I've got this down. I'm going to be a great apprentice.
I mean, yeah, you just literally have to stare into its eyes, right? And then it's just can't move.
You don't even have to do that from being in the cell. It's a glass, bulletproof box. These things are terrifying, by the way, and she didn't tell you the size. They're bigger than horses. And there's an entire underground complex, like horror style, like the like mad scientist style that one of these creatures is going to break out and murder everything, and
Cool. But yeah, I'm statted well for this. I'd follow through. I'd memorize everything. I put them to sleep, or fear them in place, or not put them to sleep, fear them in place, buzz them down, whatever it takes.
And the worst part is if you fuck up on a tattoo, even a little bit, she kills the beast and recycles it.
Oh, that's sad.
And she's like, B6 now. I'll have this, and it takes her 6 days to get a new beast of the same size remade and reconstructed.
When I'm not doing apprentice work for her with her series of tattoos, at what point do I practice mine? Do I have any customers?
So you stay with Sonyeris for streaks. So you stay with her literally an entire week, and then you're released for a month.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you literally will sleep on the floor or with the beasts or wherever. She doesn't have a cot for you. You'll have to bring your own.
I'm okay with that.
You find out that her inner beast has a very low tolerance for pretty much anything else, especially you, who is considered a predator. Has a very low tolerance for your presence in prolonged periods of time. So they have you in there for a high concentration, as long as you can, for as long as you can stay awake, and then they get you out of there before the beast can't stand it anymore and has to kill you.
That's fair. I'm kind of a walking dominance challenge, just leaking the fear effects.
Yeah, and right, like the last day you have to avoid Sonyeris because it's you don't see her the last day. There is instructions pinned on the drawing board, and that's your instructions for the day. And she's in her private office, and you just there's terrifying noises coming from there because it's probably the beast in there rather than the puppet.
Cool. So that doesn't change my question of during the month of free time, am I allowed to actively work on people?
Yeah, you're a journeyman. Like under no circumstances can someone go, "Hey, you can't do that," and you're like, I'm a journeyman, bitch.
Oh, cool.
Exactly.
Do any of the teachers or students request work? I am technically a faculty journeyman.
Everyone wants one.
Okay.
Because of your special status, because you literally got a grandmaster's, you're exempt from chores pretty much from here on ever, because your free time is too precious to be stuck doing chores. Your mornings are literally with Tylo Shen rather than doing the calisthenics with everyone else. You're fucking learning martial arts, and then you are taught some of the lessons, and then you're given a lesson plan.
Okay.
And then there
Wow.
are sometimes special guests. During the special guests, there is a specific individual who comes in and teaches all the teenagers and plus how to use guns. So,
Which is not a thing that I go to.
no, you were handed a gun, and then the teacher immediately takes it and just says, "No, get out of here. Guns are not for you." Because you're like grabbing it, you're looking down the barrel, like, "Oh, how does this work?"
Interesting question. Two things. First, does the headmaster ever request a tattoo?
No.
I was assumed as much. And second, who requests the most intricate tattoo? Like, who do I work on the longest during that period among the faculty?
The faculty? None of the faculty. There's a couple individuals who get level 3s. Genevieve, you actually do 4 for her. She pays you for your work, though, rather than expecting you to do like free tattoos. So the policy is, because they're helping you sponsor it, first one is free as long as it's within the 1 through 3 level. It's up to you to
what
decide
about my unique work?
You're not allowed to do that yet.
Ah, okay.
You need to be a master before you can experiment on other people or use your stuff. You'll probably reach that pretty quickly, though.
I thought journeyman people could do anything that wasn't 1 through 3s.
It's not. You can, but Sonieris tells you with your type of thing, she recommends you don't.
A recommendation from Sonieris is an order, so I'm not going to do anything.
She prefers you to use your very first year as a journeyman to actually use the level 1 through 3s so that they become habit. And then once you've built a reputation for yourself to be able to consistently do that, kick it to the curb, bring out your shit and go, all right, we're doing this now. But she basically says for the first year, do what you practiced, you know?
I will tell everyone in the school that basically saying, I'm willing to give you these tattoos, but I will not be able to do my unique stuff on you until later on. So if you're willing to give up the skin, I am confident that they'll probably be more
A lot of people give up the
efficient.
skin because, you know, the level 1 through 3s, they're, especially the level 3s, you'll have to decide who's worthy of them, but Genevieve actually goes over pricing with you. She did research of what the nearby towns in the neutral area charge for these. It varies wildly. The town over next to the northeast of you guys, they only have one tattooist. Their town's actually a little larger than what Aetheria's Rest is, and they're kind of in a valley. That guy charges whatever the fuck he feels. Literally, his price is gauged depending on if he likes you, if you bribed him, or if you can get favors. The guy's total corrupt, but no one else does it, and all he does is level 1 through 3 tattoos. Average price, you could say, about 10,000 gold for a level 3. That's what that guy charges, which he thinks is a little obscene.
Yeah, that's kind of disgusting. I would consider level 3 to be maybe, well, level 3 specifically? 1,000 gold, maybe.
That's what she was
Maybe?
thinking would be most appropriate. But that guy, of course, sometimes he charges, 5 gold for a level 3, but the person who did it hooked him up with a bunch of hookers, like some really high tier, courtesans.
And then, okay.
So he's also someone that we potentially might want to kill because he does purposely mess up some tattoos, just slightly so, on people he already overcharged because he doesn't like them. And they, of course, die of natural or unnatural means. So,
If they're willing to send our pack out, then we'll go kill him.
It's not really that much of a issue, but they might be
Maybe.
a little angry that you got rid of their only tattooist. But whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll have if there's a bounty for at the guild to do it, great. If not, whatever.
I haven't even talked to any of the gilded people. Does their journeyman tribalist ever come back?
Once. And it feels like, the way night falls? Night just kind of creeps over and then crashes into you guys, and it's just like, it's like a physical feeling. This person feels like it has its own horizon follow it, and you actually can't see the entirety of this individual. And anytime you look at them, it's a swirl of ink, and the details are always lost to your mind.
Huh. Sounds like he's well on his way to a grand mastership himself.
And when somebody asks for a tattoo, the individual just stares at them, and the tattoo draws itself.
Good lord. What a weirdo. I'm so much more orthodox compared to him.
The person writhes on the ground screaming as the tattoo burns itself into you. But it's ink.
Huh.
And there's a part of that person's tattoo that's missing. So he literally grants you the designs on his own skin.
I will discuss with him if he's willing to discuss his arts and share my own experiences, but honestly speaking, I don't think we can learn much from each other.
No. You guys are kept apart. Your designs are too weird and too different, and you probably wouldn't get along.
Probably.
Yeah, this person, the way he does tattooing, completely 180s what you do.
Oh, yeah. Then... Well, I have 2 years to practice on my own. Does anybody come in to have the squares in frame?
All sorts of people.
What about anyone outside of the Warren? Does anyone outside of the Warren come in for in-frames?
They don't know it. You haven't advertised. Advertising's everything, especially in a small thing. I mean, you'd have to go out and hawk your wares. Like, hey, I do this. Check out in-frame. You'll probably have to go chat with the one comm specialist, the computer expert, and they can set up you a web profile. This is how they communicate between towns. And you can even be like, hey, I solicit this service. Also, put a thing in at the guild if you guys happen to get a guild sponsorship or a guild membership.
I actually will do that because I need in-frame examples, probably at least, in order to earn my mastership later. Unless Sonieris is literally going to fax them again.
She can.
How long is it going to take for my clone to grow?
It'll take 2 years.
Does she start immediately then is the question?
No, she doesn't start immediately, no. Mostly because she goes over in horribly minute detail all of the little design. Like it'll be a parody of you, but not an exact copy. This thing is designed to do the work you could never do it, or the details you never could, because that's its entire purpose is for you to possess it like a puppet, and it actually can draw better than you.
That's the idea.
Mm-hmm. And every time, the very first 2 days, part of your curriculum, whenever you go to see her for the week, is about the design of your clone.
Will she be tattooing me with the body
Yes.
swap tattoo at some point?
Mm-hmm.
How much skin is it?
It is going to be a little larger than you'd like. It's going to be the size of it's a 5-inch by 5-inch piece of skin, and it's a mirrored thing that goes to that's on the body itself. The only difference is yours is the master control, and that's the slave. So when you engage the tattoo, you send your consciousness to the empty shell.
You know, one of the great things about InFrame is that I can efficiently block off the area around it. So no matter where I put it, I'm not going to be losing too much in terms of material or distracting that design. I just put a rectangle of skin around it. But I'm going to have it done at the small of my back.
Okay. Yep, she pulls you over, and you can feel the individual leave, and the beast does the tattoo.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you know, when she finishes the tattoo and the person's there again, you can kind of feel the tension going through through the person, and you're actually sent home early.
I figured.
And
Yeah.
we'll have that available to you at the start of the teenager years. Your little puppet.
Okay.
So, yeah, this person's crazy, but it's also a beast and doesn't think like a person.
I'm okay with that. I like I said, I'm familiar with that. The only difference between her and the headmaster is that she's embraced the future.
Yeah. You find in her crazy stack of 3-inch high notes, she was a human. She made herself a better body, transplanted herself into the beast, and then used her old body as something that she possesses through tattoos.
Oh, so she wasn't born this way. That's interesting.
No.
Great reference to a Netflix show.
Yep.
It is a great reference to Love, Death, Robots.
Mm-hmm. Sonny's Edge.
And does she have me assist with any of her like biotech research, or is it all tattoo?
All the time. There's never a down moment. In fact, you get 4 hours of sleep at best. You live off coffee and whatever she can have cooked in one of the one of the machines. She throws in like a couple like pills on a plate, and then the machine zaps it, and it's actually something edible.
Hey, coffee. I like that black.
She has an unlimited supply of actual coffee, which that's a lot of money. But anytime you want more, she's just like, fucking make your own pot. I've got mine. Don't take my pot.
I feel like this person and I get along really well.
Yeah. This person also leaves you alone a lot. She gives you tasks, and the only time there is actual like true interaction is within the first 3 days, and then it gets very cold, like very distant. And the further you get into the week, the less you see this individual, and the more just go do this, read this, do this homework.
Should I add any knowledge skills with my memory abilities?
Yeah, go ahead and add biotechnology, sciences, computers, math.
Let's see. Biotech. Math.
Like we're talking like let's add quantum math on there because she does have you do like quantum computing with computers. You already know. If you don't know the math, she's just like hit you with a math textbook. Read that.
So biotech, quantum math. Anything else?
Bioengineering. You literally get to. You are soon actually in charge of rebuilding the war beasts that she has in the cells. Yeah, you're in charge of their disposal and creation.
Am I going to be making my own clone in that case then?
No, she's custom making that for you with the best of her skills.
That's so nice. So biotech, quantum math, bioengineering,
Computers.
computer science.
Yep. Computer science also includes programming, the components.
One check in each of those then?
3 checks in each of those.
Oh, ouch.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Memory
Getting the fourth
skills
check.
plus.
Getting the 4th check will be difficult. Basically, it's very rough. She does not care if you don't know something. She immediately just fixes that immediately. She says, fucking read this, and then work on that computer until it's fixed. And that's what you do for the week if you can't figure it out.
So, wow. I'm learning spiritual mantras and martial arts from a monk and bioengineering and tattooing from a crazy mad scientist. I've got a very balanced skill set, I'd say. Except for ranged weaponry.
Hey, Tyler Shannon, what do I do if there's somebody shooting at me? Don't get shot.
Should I throw something? Oh god, no.
Yeah. Maybe if you're good enough, I'll teach you how to punch them at distance.
Listen, man, all I gotta do is program a robot to shoot them for me.
Yeah, that'll work. You can literally build a harness, and it has that a backpack with an arm that has a gun on it, and the gun goes, "I shoot that." You just point at it with your little thing, and it goes, "Shoot it," and you get to
Meh.
program how well it shoots.
I'll think about it later. Maybe if Divida gets hard into building stuff, I'll program them for her. Let me see if I have any further questions about my. I think most of it's been answered.
Heresy.
Mastership. What's required?
She'll tell you when.
Cool. I'm gonna assume the same thing for Grand Mastery after, if that's ever gonna be a thing. Probably
No, you have to
not.
get 3 grandmasters approve of it. You have to find her. You have to get her approval and 2 others, or screw it, just 3 actual grandmasters have to approve of you and say, "Yeah, that guy's worthy of being a grandmaster."
I mean, if Mr. Walking I laser eyes my tattoos into you is a journeyman level tattooist, I think Grand Mastery is a little bit farther away than I expected.
A lot of tattoo masters who teach people, yes, you could be a master, but they're not going to let you be one until you've had more years doing it, even though you should be, you could probably have your journeyman in a year if you're, and then your master is the next year if you're that good. But a lot of individuals are like, no, it took me this many years to do it, so it's going to take you at least this many years for me to allow you to get it. It's not your ability; it's the people teaching you.
That's
and
fair.
how they think, how long they think it should take you.
Am I going to have a basically trade tattooing skill that I roll, or am I going to just say I put it on there?
For now, we'll just say you put it on there. It'll still be based off of your sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Good.
Which can be both int and agility, so it works.
Right. So the nearest actually has you start building your own machine, an auto tattooing machine, where you just put the limb underneath it, select the one you want. It puts a laser guideline of where the it will tattoo, and then you hit enter, and it locks your arm the limb in place, and then it tattoos it with a little tattoo gun with machine precision.
Huh.
And
Interesting.
then you need to finish it with your maker's mark. But this will really speed up the little ones. So you can have it do all sorts of tattoo work for you, and then you draw the maker's mark and kick it live.
That's probably exactly what I'm gonna do. What about needles? Does she have access to the kind of needles I need?
She opens a drawer, says go ham.
Tasty. So at the end of the 7 years, am I capable of the 1 inch by 1 inch using the machine?
Yes. You're going to have to build the machine yourself. She doesn't even.
Oh, she was basically like, this is what you need to do, not here you go. Okay.
No, she doesn't give it to you. No. She's like, make it yourself, because that's part of your mastership.
What would I roll for that? Am I going to be rolling computer science on that?
Pretty much. You're going to be literally building your own stupid machine, and then you have to program it, and then you have to have it practice on stuff. You have to get out all the errors and the kinks and all the you have to input every single design in there.
Debugging, yes.
Yeah.
The real complexity of the tattooing actually comes from the well, she wanted new stuff. I'm going to give her new stuff. RGB. The color value exactly of a tattoo. Each one of them are going to have specific purposes: elemental, emotional. One shade of red might be for anger. One shade of red might be specifically for fire.
Oh dear Lord, you're going to be at that for a long time.
You're gonna need
And you're not going to be able to do that outside of your machine.
Yeah, that's just future stuff.
heightened sense of sight maybe would be good for you too.
Meh. At the moment, it's mostly going to be intent based because that's my maker's mark is going to cover all of that. But in the future, I told her I'm going to be making new, and that's my future plans, and she's aware of those.
Good.
Any other questions? How successful is the computer specialist in getting my work out to the world in terms of, hey, there's a guy here who can do stuff?
That will be actually a conversation for the teenagers.
Okay.
Because it's entirely up to you when you feel that you can do this, because people will come. There will also be people who are one of their greatest joys in life as a tattooist is to find another budding tattooist and come out and completely destroy your reputation.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Reputation is incredibly important because I want my mastership at some point. But if some absolute scrub comes out and I can tell where he's going with it, it won't be hard for my pack as a whole to just kill him.
No, you can't, because he's going to challenge you to tattooing. And,
would he be a tattooist himself?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their masters or journeymen. They have complete perfection over the first 3 levels, and then they have their own cool thing, and they're already well renowned, and they're evil people, and they want to make sure that they're more well renowned by destroying the reputation of other people.
Meh. An art contest is inherently subjective unless we're literally gauging power contests. Hey, we're both going to
There
tattoo
will
this
be
guy's
examples.
arm.
You'll tattoo people for free, and then you'll have them compete, and yeah.
Meh.
Weird.
What Well, I would have tattooed my first person, probably among the students, since I doubt any of the faculty would want an end frame. But sure, I would tattoo my first person.
What do you give
Uh,
him?
let's do Kiara, because that sounds fun. I'm sure Kiara wants one.
Of course.
Huh? Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for Kiara, I am going to give her. Let's give her a. Do I want to make her stupid? Do I really want to make her absolutely dumb and completely, totally dumb? Sure. I'll give her a Rage Maker.
She has a really hard time blowing that off.
What do you mean?
She doesn't have mantras. She just gets angry, and if you make her angrier fast, she kind of goes berserk.
Well, yeah.
Use a fate point to undo that decision you just made.
He doesn't have to. I mean, he's still thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. If I did give her a Rage Maker, no, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to give her a gauge on her arm with varying shades of red that if she drags her finger across, she can determine at what level of rage she's immediately set to.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of tattoos, John.
That's like six.
Yeah,
Six squares. 6 in-frame squares. Probably would take her 2 weeks to get it done.
Yeah. All right. Let's have you roll some
Sleight of
sleight
hand.
of hand.
Okay. That would actually be 6 sleight of hands.
It would be one for each.
Slash roll 1d50, and I have 2 check marks in sleight of hand, so my goal is to get under 40.
You don't have 35?
No, I don't have 35 agility. I had to
Okay.
drop some others, unfortunately.
Mm,
There's a limit to the merit points you can do, and I have a lot of things going on.
you do?
5 for the first one. So that's a pass. 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 1, 2, 3, 4.
Matt, are we doing under or over for D50s?
Under.
Okay.
We decided
Under.
on
Okay.
pass and pass.
Killed it.
So yeah, whenever Kiara wants to go into combat and she needs to get powerful fast, she reaches across to her left forearm, presses her finger against the lightest rage mark, and drags it across. And then she can drag it back down if she needs to forcibly reduce her emotional level.
Well, look at you. She punches you in the head by accident because she dials it up too high. And then she has to get wrapped up by Nyx.
I go flying and crash into a wall, and Flock comes over with a tired sigh and heals me.
Most likely. She's like, yeah, I'm so angry. I don't know why. It's just kind of like this confused. You're like, oh, that's a weird side effect.
Of interest, someone also might be able to forcibly dial it back for her? I didn't really specify if she had to be the one to drag her finger across the gauge.
Well, you go over and just dial it back.
I'll try. I don't know. It's an experiment.
What would your maker's mark do? That's all. That's where all that comes from. Did you intend that only she can control it, or did you intend that her team can
I
control it, or her second?
intended that it must be a finger dragged across it. I didn't specify that it had to be hers.
Well, then anyone can do it.
So it gives her a gigantic buff and a gigantic weakness because somebody can forcibly put a cap on her rage meter. But she can also go full power from the start of a match.
That's good too, though. If she needs to control her rage, you know what I mean? She's getting really angry about something, she just dials it back. In a situation where anger is not good.
So in terms of power, if she ever fights for like in a war zone for like 24 hours straight with just an infinite rise, there are safeguards that automatically bring her up a stage. But if she ever goes over the natural maximum cap of the tattoo, the whole thing is going to burn off. Because she's got infinite power rise. You can't stop infinity with the tattoo, unfortunately. So I tell her, don't do that. I don't imagine anyone would be stupid or strong enough to get her to that level purposefully, but it could happen. I assume from that time on, Kiara dominates the fighting competitions.
Not necessarily. They usually have somebody put a bandage over her arm. And then usually because Kara can hurt a lot of people. Like the only time they let her use her little rage meter is if she's fighting someone like you or Nika who's durable and can take that punishment, but it doesn't last for very long because her strength scales with how angry she is. So she starts to destroy stuff. Nobody likes that.
Gotcha. Well, she's got a cool thing, and I've got an amazing example to add to my mastership exam.
Yep, you're required to take a picture.
I take a picture, of course.
And then you have to fill out, the notes.
So many forms.
Well, no, it's not forms particularly. It's notes and the person you tattooed it on. Yeah.
Okay. And Luna, after you get your stuff together, I will offer to tattoo you as well.
I might be interested in it. I don't know how it would work on my carapace, but yeah.
I work for a person who literally opened a drawer and said, "Here, I have every needle available."
Yeah, you told me that.
I can probably get a needle that works in your carapace. Question, Matt?
You have to use a special ink.
I mean,
and a special
ink?
needle. And a special needle.
Uh,
because her carapace will bleach the color.
Special ink. What's the price on that?
You'll have to make it yourself.
Oh, gross.
But you have a bio lab. Well, you can go make some stuff.
Yeah, I make something for you, Luna. Probably going to have to be black and white because if you bleach the color, the meaning is going to fade. So I won't give you anything ridiculously specialist, but I'll give you a power booster for sure. And in that case, I am done. Clarity is a teenager, 16 years old.
Where are you when the sky fell?
I'm either doing one of my weekly trainings or...
It's nighttime, by the way.
Yeah, so I could be gone for a week. Would you like me to roll for that, Matt, or simply say that I'm not?
You will, yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
What would that be?
So you roll a 1d4. If it is 1, you're with you're with your grandmaster. If it's 3 through 4, you're not. You're not.
Perfect. Then in that case, at night, I would be hunting.
So you're
I
hunting
would
around the
be
castle.
Yeah, so in general, at night, Clarity is technically the one in charge because Luna's doing spider duty, and Olwen is
Nyx is
always.
covering the spider duty. And Nyx,
Oh,
Luna can
so
actually hang with
Luna.
you guys now.
Yeah, we
So
we
Luna's
we
the one
work
leading
more
at night.
together. Yeah.
Luna, where would you put Clarity?
Depends on what we're doing for the night.
We are no longer just killing scavengers. I'm almost certain of that.
Well, you're probably gonna hit something here soon. So, your position is fluid, so it doesn't really need to be in a exact
Roll
position.
luck.
Exactly.
So 80 or higher, you're going to be in the courtyard. 90 or higher, you're not. All right, you were nowhere near the blast, not even close. You feel it, and you hear the whistle.
In that case, we were probably out in the woods. Like the whole pack probably was.
Not necessarily.
Since Olwen was at the forge, I don't think so.
Well, other than Olwen, because Olwen is always at the forge. Luna, as pack leader temporary, would you have started sending Clarity out on solo missions into the woods? Go hunt this thing?
No, it's more Vita's job. You would. Let me roll something.
That's what you get for being number 2. You gotta be the leader when the leader's not there.
Okay.
You could probably be in the lower parts of the castle that needs to be cleared out.
Totally possible. I figured we were gonna start on that like at our teenage years, going in there and exploring and clearing things out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Luna, you rolled something.
Yeah, you're down there.
Okay.
Vita is too.
What about Flock? I would hope we would have Flock or Jenny with us. We need a Lightbringer, so which one would we bring? If not both.
Both of them.
Oh.
Those
So
two are close together.
So we've got Jenny, Flock, Clarity, and Divida clearing out the underground of the castle when it gets hit. Hopefully the entrance is not blocked.
I don't know if it does though, because they'll have a string attached to you.
Well, Johnny, you got your points spent. Ready to talk to Matt about it?
No. I'm at 85 for Mark right now. Just typing everything in.
I need a good sword. Should I roll for how much money I've managed to make over the past 2 years, 3 years of working as a tattooist?
Oh, it depends. Like,
Oh,
you don't have that many clients. That's the thing.
I know Genevieve purchased stuff.
Yeah, she was the only one among a couple because she wanted to get more than just one tattoo.
Totally fair.
So she paid you for the 3 of the 4. She wanted 4 level 3s, and they were very specific in their placement, and they were actually some of the weird ones.
Well, I'm not gonna judge her. If she wants some cool tats, she gets some cool tats, dude. I've got the skill
Yep.
set.
And she pays you 1,000 gold for each, from her own coffer, so 3K. You can, but not many other pay you. A couple of the other kids give you a gold apiece, because that's all they can afford. But that's just
I'm
the
okay
war.
with that. 1.5 of the 3K goes to our pack coffers because they paid my way early on, and now I'm paying them back. So I'll keep 1,500 for myself, and with that 1,500, I would want to purchase or see if Prena had a good blunt or bladed melee weapon for 1,500 gold.
You're gonna give her more money. Yes, give my NPCs all your money. Do it every last time.
Yeah, that's the idea. Does she have anything for 1,500?
Tattoo stuff wise?
He didn't hear.
Blunt or bladed melee weapons?
Nah, no. She has those, but not for gold. Not just gold.
Not for gold. I'm okay
You're
with
gonna have
that.
to do a combination of gold, schmeckles, helium, fuel cells, promises, maps. Like it. She's got stuff, but it ain't cheap.
In that case, I would actually go to Clean Blade.
And he turns his head, gives you a bow, and he shows you his wares.
Uh, hmm.
All of his wares are affordable, even with your wealth. Like you have plenty
Yeah.
of money. I think the biggest purchase you could do is probably 150 gold. They're all
Hmm.
super nice weapons, but um, they're not like enchanted super +5 battle axe of thunder crashing.
So I'll pick up a couple from him. And assume that I've experimented with the training weapons in the yard when I got my gloves. So if I put a two-handed axe in my gloves, am I carrying around the weight of that two-handed axe too? Along with
Unfortunately, yes. That's the one. That's one of the big downsides. But you could still operate as if you're not actually carrying them. It's just if you are carrying a battle axe and you go to touch something, pray that it can withstand a swing from a battle axe.
important question then. If I gently press my finger against something, is it like a full force at battle axe blow?
No.
So it's like I'm touching the blade
If
to
you
something.
specifically go, it's basically how hard you touch it.
Okay.
But again, it's not hitting with the haft. You're literally applying that meaty, slaying edge. So if you go up and give someone a hard handshake, you're going to cut their hand off.
Okay.
But if you go slowly and hold out a hand and let them, actually, no, that's how hard they hit your hands too. Uh, on the top of your hand, though, there's a little emblem that appears to show what you're holding.
Good. So it's one weapon applies to both gloves, correct?
No, one weapon applies to whatever hand you are holding it in.
Ah.
So the right and left can have different weapons.
What's my strength like? Other than
Sure.
my normal strength.
You're still a teenager, one-handing a battle axe, like a great big ass weapon. You're not there yet, but you'll get there. It's just like you could maybe get a couple swings, but it's just not very good. But since it just makes your hands stupidly heavy. I mean, if you were to go slap someone, that would be hilarious because that person's head would go flying.
In that case, I would ask him for a couple things, actually. I want a pair of twin swords. Paired swords. Specifically designed as such. Of the highest quality possible, preferably of a very long length. But I'm
Okay.
looking for more
You
hacking
want a great
power than.
sword, long sword, Zweihandler.
There are paired Zweihanders designed to be used one in each hand, Matt.
With him, absolutely. He has some weird ass shit in there.
No. Let's go with arming blades, like slightly less short than a long sword, so we're for sure one-handed weapon rather than hand and a half.
Okay. Done and done, homie.
And just because I like to have them on hand, I'll buy a pair of heavy maces as well.
Okay.
Just for the
Purchase
times
will
when
run you a total of 40 gold, 10 per.
and that's with his highest quality stuff. What would be 150 gold purchase from him?
He has a very exotic lance that's made of super heavy materials. You got it from the east where they actually don't ride horses; they ride some sort of Komodo beast. And the individuals who wield that weapon are way stronger than even the strongest humans. So the weapon is 300 pounds. And yeah, they literally use it to lance other large beasts and people in heavy armor. Sometimes small vehicles. It's also 8 feet long.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a big motherfucker. He shows it to you. You want to buy it?
No.
He understands. No one does.
So I have to tattoo organic creatures, right? I can't just inscribe in frames on the edge of a sword blade.
No. You
Good to know.
do that. You just need a machine that can tattoo that. And then you need to find a way to get your maker's mark engraved. You're basically going from tattooing to engraving.
And I can use the exact same style?
Yeah. You're
That's
studying under a
cool.
grandmaster. The grandmaster just like throws a couple blueprints at you. Like, here's some of my ideas for engraving.
Does she have a machine capable?
No, build one yourself.
Darn. Okay, I'll enchant my weapons later. For now, I need some stats on those two.
The swords, they
Yeah.
do 1d8 plus your strength. And they have no, sorry, they're not long swords, so they're 1d6 plus your strength. With a pen of 2. And that'll add on whatever your punch skill is.
I can punch harder than these things hit. That's interesting.
Well, yeah, there's normal swords. And your martial art's a martial art that harnesses your inner rage, which is keener than any stupid blade you can find.
And the maces.
Maces, they also do 1d6, but they add your strength times 2 instead of pen.
Oh, nice.
So with your maces, you're looking at like 4d6 plus your strength times 3 plus 4 pen just to smack someone with your fist.
4d6? No, it would be 3d6.
Oh, yeah,
Because you have to have a
3d6, right.
mace for each hand. Plus, I don't think it would add your strength bonus twice regardless. Does it just add the dice?
No, the flat.
Yeah.
So if you had 3 strength modifier to add your strength,
Good.
so it'd be +6 for the mace plus a 1d6. No pen though, because it's a mace. Unless, of course, you've somehow got an ability that allows you to apply pen to blunt force objects.
So my ferrous steel knife does 1d6.
Yeah,
That's a
it's a
pretty
special
good
knife.
knife.
These blades aren't made of ferrous steel.
Huh. I could arm the entire Warren.
Yeah, you could.
Who knows? Maybe Olwen will make me a special knife with all of his smithing practice that he does. So arming paunch. Mace paunch. What's Onika's armor currently at? Now that she's, I'm assuming that over this 7 years she managed to unlock her bloodline. As Matt does some quick, fast math.
It's pretty easy for Jenny. She has the bloodline power of Vulcan, which is basically there's only a couple bloodlines for elementals, if they even get the rare chance of awakening them. And Jenny takes about 4 years to awaken her bloodline. Um, but yeah, she's a walking, talking volcano. So she's
Scary.
part earth, part fire, part magma.
That changes my decision for Jenny.
Onika, yeah, she just wakes up one day and goes, "Huh, whatever." And then when she gets up, there's a crater in the ground. She's like, "Oh, what? Wait, what? Sorry, I broke your floor."
She's iron blooded. That doesn't make her any stronger.
She's heavy.
Aw,
And yes, it does make her stronger.
scary.
Actually, it makes her a lot stronger, a lot more durable.
We got an actual number on her armor.
It's near 20s right now.
Near 20s. So yeah, even with my weaponry enhanced punches, there's no chance of me hurting her. Well, if I specifically stabbed at her eye, I could do 3 damage if I rolled max. That would just be the assumption because I rolled max damage. Because my max damage for an arming pouch is 18, and I've got pen 6. So I would just barely be able to cut her if I rolled max. I'd actually have a better chance with the mace. Technically, it's better damage, but maces are going to tire me out way faster than arming swords. Now that that's done, Johnny, how about it? How goes the purchases?
I am up to 100 in.
Good, good.
Just finishing off Nyx's
Go with specialist tattooing kit, because I do have the specialist tattooing tools now. I also have the apprentice ones. Don't know what I'm gonna do with those.
You can sell them back. Donate them to somebody else in the Warren that might want to do tattooing.
You know what? Sure. I'll
Do we
see
have
if any
any,
of the.
Sorry, John, continue. I'll talk after.
No, I'm just gonna say I'll put them down. Apprentice tattooing kit in my inventory, and then if any of the kids in the new arrivals of children show promise, I'll pawn them off. Now go ahead. Sorry, Johnny.
Oh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say... Fuck. I should have said it when I did. I don't remember now. Whatever.
You might get her with that.
Oh, I remember now. Matt. What does Mystic Creatia give me for a trinket that represents herself? Is it like an old pipe or something like that?
Nope. She's gonna give you a little totem.
Totem.
Something from her hometown.
Oh, good.
She just carved it, but you know, that's something that represents her people. Yeah. There's a little wooden door on the back. That's where you can. It's kind of where you can store a little bit of herbs.
Yeah.
Because you know, her people are farmers, but they have grown to farm specific shamanistic herbs that
Yeah.
they use.
Alright, Matt, I've reached my cap for mind. I'm about to put it into the advancement for what it is.
Fuck, that was close.
Playing Dead by the Daylight?
No, League. Yeah.
You can tell me after if you want, it's fine.
That guy got deked on. Damn. Hmm. Here's pretty simple. Keeping up with the theme, you get another eyeball. Congrats.
Oh, okay.
For the mind.
For the mind, yeah.
This one, it's another seer's eye, but it grants knowledge of what you wish to look at. Grants, and you're not. Sometimes it's what they're thinking. Sometimes it's I look at this book and it gives you the cliff notes, but not the language. Sometimes it grants you an understanding of why this person's acting this way. Sometimes it's knowledge you really, really don't want. Like the last time this type of thing killed somebody. Ooh.
Shit. So,
Oh my
another
gosh, that
Seer's
hurts.
Eye.
It's not bad, Johnny. It's not bad.
Seer Fourth Eye. Fourth Eye of Knowing. Third Eye of Possibility.
That'll do it.
Just nice now I get to add my eyes back to my character. Hey Matt.
Yeah.
I finished my my long-term goal.
Another one? Mm.
Oh, I also finished long-term goal. I got a tattoo.
You did.
Oh, it's been so long. That was session 1.
Well, that it was. Oh my gosh, that extra damage is nuts.
Huh?
Gosh dang. That ability he keeps doing to me is just dumb. The thing.
Yeah.
So I've spent 140 merits on the party, and I've spent
Oh, there's that.
$45 in NPCs. Oh, wait. John, what do you think Gauzy Man would be? I was thinking it'd be like a hive world or something like that, but
Hive World? Let's see. I honestly thought Flock would probably be like a living planet with life and population on it. Because he doesn't really seem like a sun to me, even with all of his light giving, just because of personality. As far as Ozyman goes, I don't know about a hive planet.
yeah. Trying to think of like, deals and connections and all the things that go through him.
Maybe. I mean, he wouldn't be a terrible asteroid belt.
2 asteroid belts. That'd be interesting.
Oh, you already have one?
Yeah, Oni.
Ah, Oni is. Yeah, she's an asteroid belt.
He's a rock.
Maybe he's one of those like gas giants with like a billion moons all around him.
Oh yeah. I'd have to work on that for more substance, but yeah, I could do a gas giant first. He's maybe like a really rich gas giant in that sense, like lots of resorts to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just needs to be mined or needs to
Evan feels like a gas giant to me.
acceptable.
Full of air. Full of hot air.
Yes, that's the idea, Matt. That's Ozyman, right?
Also, he's not going to be joining us tonight.
You talked to him about it?
Yeah.
What a scrub,
He's like,
man.
oh, I can't make it.
Remember that probability I told you about? It's now come down. I'm sorry. That's too bad.
Aussie man sadly dies in the transition from from kid to teen years.
I mean, it's possible if he doesn't watch that last video. Like, he doesn't understand how death works. He might get himself in trouble. He rolls a 1d100 and he goes over, you know, high 90s or something. It's possible.
Yes, we get the second piece. First turret PRs, boys.
Actually, Matt, Prenna bioengineers war machines. Doesn't she have some of them with skin that's like harder than steel?
If she wants to design it that way, yeah.
So shouldn't she already have tattooing machines that can do engraving level work?
She doesn't need it. She just turns into a beast and her claws can carve anything.
What a scrub.
Yeah, you are.
I need to engrave my swords with damage.
I picked up a fun talent that can attack while concealed. And if you pass your stealth, you stay concealed. So then I also have ambush for talent.
You're a Spider-Man.
Yeah, and ambushing is if you attack from being concealed, you do extra damage depending on degree of success. So it should be fun. Be a good combo.
Honestly, I think Luna's probably one of the strongest in the party, even without seeing all of his boosts.
I think I have the highest stats probably with the party.
Did you cap out all your stats?
Pretty much, besides weapon skill and ballistic skill.
Dude.
What kind of cool powers do you got for everybody, Johnny?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You already know about your influence, about the down moments.
I didn't think you could engineer those. I'm surprised Matt
A
accepted
lot of
that
the
as a
time you
power.
can. Sometimes you have to manufacture them.
Scary.
By making a certain, this moment's special, but it's not special enough. But if this were to happen during this time,
One for Oni is the more damage he takes, the stronger the next attack will be.
she's gonna break something.
So, who in our age group is the reigning 1v1 champion for fight tournaments? One of the Lone Wolves, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Pentalope is not beatable by anyone, even Kiara.
Spooky.
Yeah, she stands there. There is a monster that appears, and everyone's like, no, absolutely not. And even the headmaster's like, please put that away.
Lone Wolves, man. They crazy.
Exactly. Did we get the second? Maybe we did get the second, but fucking Trundle's gonna eat our turret. Gosh dang it. Trundle, don't eat our turret. You monkey farter.
You get everything spent then, Johnny?
You not?
That's a no. How
Oh,
many do I have
when you
left?
reached your second threshold, I thought.
I have 53 left.
53. Cool. Clearly, you need to spend it all into giving me superpowers.
Well, I will be investing back into it once I get my long term done. So.
Oh, that's true. We do have to get some points for our long terms being completed. I've got to make a new long term ambition. What am I even going to do?
Maybe become a grandmaster.
I was thinking that, Johnny. I was thinking that, but it seems like it's going to be harder than it looks.
But I mean, that's the point of long term, right?
Getting a tattoo was harder than I expected it to be.
Gosh, what the hell?
That was one of my short terms. Like, hey, learn how to hide your aura from the mystic, and it's like, oh no, there's so many other things you have to do. I haven't even completed that one yet. So let's put points into it.
So, what do you think about Liam's patron?
I mean, I already knew it, so it is what it is.
You already knew it? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I called it, especially when he started. The truth thing was what kind of gave it away.
Mm. Yeah, I never would have guessed. I thought he would make something unique. Or
I feel
new,
like
I should say.
that his 99 is the result of him telling, because it was a secret and now it's out. Sutra hates those kind of things, so it's poetic, I guess. It's to teach you a lesson.
Close to 100% crit chance. And when I'm there, people die.
It's a good time. I used to have fun with
Talk.
Earthshaker. Get a critter. Just hit it with four times. Well,
What? The fuck?
He's talking about Dota.
yeah.
No, I'm
Earthshaker.
talking about me getting killed by whatever the fuck that was.
It's fair. So Earthshaker, the enchant totem puts it up by 4 times the amount of damage you do, and then do that on top of like a 270 crit.
Yeah, you can one-shot people with Critters Shaker. I did that quite a bit.
I know he's got a Hoboken move, so don't. I know.
Did you mean Hadouken, Matt?
That's what I thought he
Hoboken?
meant too, but I was just gonna, roll with it.
You mean Hoboken, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Matt. I've had your tattoo decided for quite a while, Luna, but if you want anything special, feel free to ask.
What's it going to affect?
Your tattoo is octagonal.
Mhm.
It is going to influence your creative capabilities.
Like with my weaving, for example,
Uh, it's
or
more
say my
simple.
cooking.
Uh, whatever it is you so choose. Octagons are creation, complexity, home.
8 legs of the spider.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be It's also one of the most interesting designs so far because it has a weird visual effect. There you go.
It almost looks like the middle is like not lined up. Sure, it is. Actually,
Yeah.
no. It's kind of weird looking, I guess. Little uneven, but I mean, it's just the way she goes. Looks like there's an acorn.
Totally is. That's the idea. Feels like there are darker shades on some of the pizza slices, but it's just your eyes not being able to deal with that weird pattern.
Is it going up? Is it going down? Which way is the center going? There's no difference. It's just the way she goes. Just the. Yeah, I just don't know where I'd put it.
uh,
Tramp stamp.
Tramp stamp. I was considering that. Yeah. Let's put it on over your web glands, I guess. Oh wait, you already have tattoos over those, don't you?
I have a Sun Eater mark, but it's above. Takes up most of my back though.
I could put one on each of your back of your hands.
Well, I do have spinnerets over there too, so it would work.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to do multi-purpose, super complex tattoos for all of you over the course of this 3-year period.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably going to get like one, probably maximum of 4 square in frame for each person. So I can make a pair of your hands more dexterous and creative than the others if you wanted.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
100% crit chance. Oh, baby.
Am I having a good time over there?
I'm playing a character whose whole thing is crit,
Yeah.
and she has a special passive that she hits you with a crit. Just 2 types. She hits you with a normal crit. She does extra damage. If she hits you with one of her special ability crits, she deletes you, basically.
Phantom Assassin. That's about right.
She's an 80 carry.
Yeah, also Phantom Assassin. There's a little dagger. Crits off the daggers.
So Tilly is gone for a good portion of the year, right? She's a caravan traveler. Does she come back every year?
Yes.
Huh. I imagine even Prenna travels around. Or does
Yes.
Prenna stay? Oh, no, Prenna travels too.
She stuck around for your apprenticeship, but after that, she's gonna be gone for a little bit.
Gotcha.
She'll go to the night market.
When I can. I will probably actually have Ozzy give, or someone, give me a license to do tattoo work in the night market.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a tattooist. I haven't seen one at least in the market yet.
You will be that guy.
There you go, John. That's how you make your money. We've secured it.
You can potentially be one of those guys. You'll just have to talk to Medusa and get that secured
License.
before another merchant comes by and's like, "Hey, I do tattoos," and you're like, but do you do them like I do?"
But I mean, Prenna's a tattooist, so she's been taking care of it for the night market in general.
Yeah, because she's forced. Medusa doesn't really tolerate hard competition. So if there's a tattooist, that's the tattooist until you leave.
Good thing Prenna's taking a break.
Plus, that's not her specialty anyway. She does other things.
Sure. We can say that we negotiated a tattoo deal, Matt.
We'll have to do that.
Darned Ozzy isn't our deal maker online. I'll need special ink for night people too. Does Son Yeris know how the biology of night people differs from day people?
Yeah, she experiments on them too. A lot of her night beasts are night people.
Perfect. So she'll have the research I need in order to develop night people ink.
Change you the schematic. Do it.
I've already showed you an example of the difference between night people tattoos and day people tattoos, I do believe.
Yep.
Well, I will resend it to you then. The border's white, and the canvas is black. They're inverted.
Matt, can I roll luck to see how many smeckles we pick up on the side of the road that people threw out that didn't know it was actually a smeckle?
Did you bite every
You
single
roll
bottle cap?
What'd you say? What'd you say, Matt?
Yeah, go for it. That's a thing.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Rolling as roll 1d100. 2.
Good lord.
You don't find any. Sorry,
Nah,
Luna.
that's too bad. Allie woke up.
She got work tomorrow or tonight?
No. About 400 left to spend.
Good lord.
Oh, she spent like 200 of it last night?
Yeah. No. I mean, today with me, she spent it.
Oh, she break any caps?
I don't know. I think so. They're close. Spirit, I think. She's been investing it into her bloodline powers.
Oh,
She put 75 points into her amount that she has.
that's nice.
And then she put 65 into object of.
She just wants to skateboard, man.
and then she has more to choose from. Her stats are pretty low though, comparatively. I thought she was gonna pick some more higher, but
She got stuff around 20s.
yeah, nothing breaking 30.
Huh.
We get the next one. We get the Mountain Soul, and we need that really bad.
Trying to decide whether I want to break my Might Tree Cap next or Spirit Cap next. Let's take a look at long-term ambition. Flock, make animal friends. Yeah, he plans to make an animal companion later. Why isn't Hayden online, speaking of that?
Don't know. I guess he's gonna find the sheep somewhere. Matches his profile.
Oh no! Fuck. So we're doing really well, except they have this character who keeps trying to kill our base, and he keeps raxing us, and it's like, stop! All you do is run into our base and die, kill our turrets. So we're sitting here and we murder them, but we have to immediately go back because there's an asshole.
You guys have like boots of travel or anything like that?
No, it's called hit the B button and wait.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Like,
Yeah. Honestly, though, I love that style, Matt, of, oh yeah, the whole team is dying, but I force you to not be able to take advantage of that because I'm off in the corner beating on the enemy tower.
yeah, they have a trundle.
At least it's not a Yorick. If it was a Yorick, you'd have already lost.
Yeah, well. They have an Aphelios that we're having a hard time dealing with because there's a Thresh that's babying him. Which is good because he's absolutely defenseless. I crit all the time. Oh, delete it. Yes. Their Trundle's dead too. Okay. The anti-fun has been deleted. We eat their base. Murder base. Shut up and die. We didn't. We won. Even though there was a guy eating our base, we just had to kill them.
Good job, Matt.
Nice.
Yeah, we just kind of walked up and went, bro, stop it right now. And we stopped them, and it was good.
And it was good.
All right, I'm gonna go see if I can scrounge up some food. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Still not answering our questions though.
Did we have any questions?
Long-term ambition.
Ah. Well, he'll be back.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Maybe.
I see.
What?
Back in 30.
I am gonna hop off for the time being as well. I'll probably be back in roughly an hour.
Okay, dokie.
Talk to you then.
See you, John.